And here she is, Sun Yingsha, who has dominated WTT Champions table tennis so far this season. Back in Macau, she takes on Wang Yidi, who has twice been a beaten finalist. In fact, her drought in terms of titles runs back to Frankfurt last year. This is the head-to-head. It's an 8-4 in favor of Sun Yingsha. The last time, in fact, she's won the last three. The last time Wang Yidi won was that Champions in Frankfurt, a 4-2 winner on that occasion. Umpires in place for this one. Jiana.
Umpire Jiana from China. Assistant umpire.
Let's remind you that we are in the finals this evening, and in this final it's a best of 7 games. First to 11, of course, must win by 2. There'll be no coaches for these two players from China, and they are now making their way across for the coin toss.
Red or black? Wang Yidi, black. Sun Yingsha, red. Sha won the toss. Sun Yingsha to serve. Wang Yidi to receive.
So those are the formalities observed before we get into this one. The players warm up and we start thinking about the form, the history, and the likelihood of what may happen here this evening in Macau in the Infinity Arena. In a moment, we'll talk about what these guys are playing for. You'll see how many points and how much money, of course, there is up for grabs over the course of this. But first up, Adam is with me. Let's have a look at Wang Yidi, who, of course, had the easier, curiously enough, of the semi-finals as it turned out.
Yeah, Wang Yidi is in outstanding form right now at 27 years old. She's been a bit of a late bloomer in China. In 2021, made a real name at the World Champs. Hasn't dropped a game yet. Not Mo Zhang, not Bruna Takahashi, Miyu Kihara, nor Wang Manyu could put a dent in the record of an in-form Wang Yidi. Sasha on the other side, as you mentioned, at 23 years old, the world ranked #1 for over 2 years straight, has won her last 3 encounters. But there are some interesting plot twists recently in terms of major events that Sasha has played the finals in.
Yeah, we'll get into that soon. 117 weeks, that #1 spot. That's something when you look at it like that. Miwa Harimoto took 2 games off her in that semi-final, but she came through in the end, and therefore she's eyeing up another 1,000 points to go to the 9,000 or so that she's got already. Prize money for the winner, it's going to be $35,000. And the prize for making it to the final, well, they'll be looking, of course, to pick up that glorious trophy. 27,000 goes to the runner-up here in Macau. No one wants to be the best of the rest, having made it this far. Fan votes always piques our curiosity. 62% going with Sasha. Probably just about what you'd expect, is it?
It's a good question. It seems fair enough to me. What I'd expect, I don't know, on any given day. I mean, when you look at what happened to Wang Chuqin yesterday versus Lin Shidong, you have to wonder, is it a question of rest? Because Sasha did play Paris, Wang Yidi, not so much.
Yeah, and in terms of
Sun Yingsha to serve. Love all.
pathways, we'll talk about who might be fresher. Yeah, just listening back to that post-match interview last night, Sasha actually said she felt a little bit tired as that semi-final went on.
Yeah, that was a word I didn't expect to hear. You and I talked about fitness, hers specifically, but she was tested. It was an incredible match.
But here she is, and she's somewhere she's so used to being. Spoke about, of course, her recent form in WTT Champions, but it's broader than that. She gets to finals and she wins them. And now we think about Wang Yidi, who we've seen all week long demonstrating a hunger, shall we say.
Very unusual ball, a little bit of height on it to the baseline, but no step around, maybe a little indecision there.
Always good to get your first point on the board in a major match, and she does just that. in fine fashion.
Right, exactly. Covering the middle there, then another one with the wide forehand, playing the angles. This is the first rally that felt like the caliber that we'd expect throughout this match. Just a taste, really. I'm sure we're going to have many better than that.
Are there similarities in styles between the two?
Oh, sure, yeah. I think from a young age, when you think about what it takes to be at this level, how many hundreds of thousands of players didn't even make it to the provincial team in China despite being on a professional track? There are going to be a lot of similarities. The foundations are so important. How to balance, how to move, how to recover, where to start with your racket, when to stop at the point of contact. There's an endless list of things, elements to the game that they practice similarly. So yes, lots of similarities.
Touch play opened up, and then suddenly they were stretched.
Side of the table, Wang Yidi's the first to say it. I love it. Just outside. Beautiful, good fair layout here.
Yeah, she had the view, her opponent didn't, and she called it.
So after Sasha takes that first big stroke with the forehand, Wang Yidi hits it right back into the middle. Says, recoil and decide which side of the racket to use.
Left,
Oh, service warning.
below the plate surface. Ball, below the plate surface. Ball.
Oh, so this is a miscommunication. She said, show, ma, my hand, and the umpire said ball. 桌子下面, below the table is the issue. It's the hand holding the ball. Hopefully everything's clear. Sasha doing the right thing to double check.
And that's another point for Wang Yidi. She's always sharp on this, Jana, our umpire.
Yeah. Rules are there for a reason. Let's let's play by them. Sounds good to me. Ooh, we saw a chest shot yesterday.
That was higher.
This is closer. It might be a neck shot, something you have to wear a turtleneck for, explain to your parents later. Ooh. Table tennis. Really? Yes, I swear. It's on video.
Now they're warming up. Now it's beginning to float. We spoke about the compactness of Wang Yidi a couple of times earlier this week, and she's just looked so efficient and organized as she goes about these strokes she plays. Not that time, though. How'd you get that back?
Not much to be done here. Watch what happens. Tight pendulum serve, opening topspin, slow deep to the backhand. And as soon as the body weight's there, it was the efficiency of the backhand in the placement. Sasha opens up the other side of the table. I like this. Right back to where it came from. Again, you see more backhand-to-backhand rallies in the women's game because they play faster. They stay closer to the table, so they need to be ready again. When Sasha plays these forehands, it just takes longer to recover. Baseline there, catches the edge. I like the idea from Wang Yidi. Changes it up, spins it way inside the table. Sasha doing her job to keep it deep. A little bit of fortune to go with it.
And that time it was on the forehand, and now it puts Sasha potentially within 2 points of taking the first game.
Well, I think definitely within 2 points of taking the first game here. testing that middle. You can see the feet spread apart. Trailing, but we've seen bigger comebacks so far this week.
There she goes. That's how you set it up. She's led throughout this game, and she wants to get it closed out.
The idea, again, was to serve long and deep, but that ball well inside the baseline. Sasha taking advantage. 4 game points and her serves.
Of which one has gone. Probably the most emphatic shot we've seen her play. Forehand, last point. And there it is. First game's done. 11-7 to the world number 1. She got in front. She stayed in front. And that's how she goes into this first break between games.
A little help from the net on the way over. There will be no coaches on benches as both players out here representing the same team. So a best of 7, 1/4 of the way there. Sasha gets hydrated and gets ready for a developing game 2.